Got you.
On camera, no.
Yeah.
Did you just feel the warmth there, like someone had turned the radiators on? I felt like a nice bit of warmth there.
Go past the tree.
Oh no. Oh Karen, thank you for bringing us here.
Yeah, we can go down to the edge of the beach. I saw a Canadian geese, so there's 6 geese. There are 22 chicks between them. I'm just hoping that they're, yeah, I am quite lucky that this is on my back door. Shush! Plus, we can look at it a bit further down because we've got a noisy goose. Oh, well, not anymore. Oh, it's still going. Yeah, it's a discovery centre. But yes, all flat. Sometimes the beach is further out and sometimes the beach is even further in. Floods here. In the...
So what feeds into it from here?
Don't know. And there's the moon. And there's the sun going down over there. There's the moon. So, what makes you, so my daughter's very, I don't care. What makes you care then?
I just think that it's quite important to realise what's from the truth to the lies, to be honest, because you're quite easily driven to be quick to just acknowledge lies, and I think that's quite important to distinguish.
Yeah, people don't think.
No, they just automatically quickly believe things.
Yeah. Cool.
Based
Oh,
on what? Oh,
there's a camera on me.
but they do, don't they? They just based on.
But once you know, you can't really go back. It's a bit like once you go flat, you can't go back.
Yeah.
You can't go
Very
back
true.
once you know.
Yeah, like even in science now, I like kind of do my own research on it now because I'm like, it's more a belief system than truth. It's just theories which aren't actually proven, like gravity. It's a theory.
Educators now in the
Mind you, if gravity was working, don't you think that tree there would be trying to sort of get its head, like top to the ground?
Yeah.
And like, wouldn't our heads be trying to meet the ground?
like that.
Yeah.
We'd be fighting to keep them up.
Because
Like we'd be feeling the G-force of it or something.
yeah, and you'd be going like, because your feet are supposed to be stuck to the ground, aren't they?
Yeah, it'd be a struggle to move one in front of the other, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Oh, another dog with philosophy is good. Anyway. No, Floss. Hello. She wasn't so nice on that one. She wanted to go for that one. Yeah.
There's a history there.
Don't know, maybe it's this walk. You know, because she comes on this, maybe I've heard people say that if you take a dog on a regular walk, then they think that that's their walk, and so that other dogs intruding.
Yeah, they're territorial about it.
It's my walk. They're fishing lakes over there. Look, you can see it.
Oh, so do they have to put them back after, or?
Well, they've dug them out, haven't they? And then they've turned them into. This one here is Thatcham Discovery Centre, and those there are fishing lakes they make money out of. But it's quite nice on your doorstep, isn't it?
Oh my gosh, yeah.
You know, we can go on a longer walk, but we won't today. But this one takes about half an hour to walk round, and the other one takes about an hour. We go through the ex-skip tip place. It's an old tip. It's all filled in. You're not supposed to go on there, but everybody takes their dogs for a walk.
We've got one like this that's called Pen Ponds, but it's actually probably like in the centre of Richmond Park, so it's probably about a 20-minute walk for us to get there. Nowhere near as this is on the doorstep.
Have you noticed it is a little bit more chilly today?
Yeah, that's what we were saying. We're almost at July, right? And we're still a little bit like.
But it was
Billy.
hot. The other day I was so hot at night.
We didn't bring jackets with us because we thought, well, even if we do go for a walk, it'll be a clear sky, it'll be warm. And we're like,
this will be totally different to the next few days you've got, Roxanne.
yeah, we're not going to be
You're enjoying it though, aren't you? The activism. And...
I mean, do you know what I'm enjoying? The most bit I'm enjoying is just interacting with other people that know the same truth that I know. I don't think there is a vast minority of people that pertain to know the truth. I feel that things like the American Space Force and Tesla going up there, that's signs the elites are worried. They're worried. They thought the moon landing was the only bullshit they were going to have to give us, and they realised sorely that they were wrong. The people then are going to keep waking up, and they're going to have to keep coming up with more shit, more shit, more
I know,
shit.
what are they going to come up with next?
Space Force, Project Bluebeam.
What do you reckon of those
fake
noises
alien
people hear
invasion
in
and
the
all that? It's all to.
What do you think those noises
reiterate-
people hear in the skies? What do you think? What do you think that is?
I think that we're told that we understand a lot about this whole space that's not even real, right? So while they're indoctrinated and believing that space is real, they believe that the atmospherics are not to be trusted by their senses. So when they put out an issued thing saying, oh, it was just a sonic boom of whatever it was and it was this, the masses go, oh right, yeah, that's what it was.
What about those trumpet noises?
Well, that.
Oh, it sounds like a whale's
Right.
making a noise.
And have you noticed how many people that talk about that don't already know about the flat Earth? Because I don't think.
No, but some of those people call the police and say, you can hear them doing it on their videos. There's this horrible noise and there's all this noise and lightning and. Like,
I think there's a ton of stuff.
So some people. So what I'm saying is these things
true,
are happening.
But I think I don't pertain to support everything that's out there, because I believe that as many conspiracies I've looked at that are true, I think that a lot of the conspiracies are out there are there as holding positions to keep people away from the actual biggest truth, which is the false worship of the biggest false idol ever, which is the globe. So as long as they can have, they could have multiple. I think Nibiru might be one of them. I think Nibiru might be a massive holding position where they can potentially keep people in that realm for about 3 or 4 years. That's another 3 or 4 years we've kept them away from the proper truth. Great, whatever holding position we can keep them in, away from the.
Once you realise the sun isn't very far away, Nibiru just sounds stupid.
And I spent a good while on that.
But there is other discs up there because I filmed them. It came out on my camera. Whatever it is, there is something there, but there's nothing to be worried about. It's no system coming in, swinging around and knocking us out.
No, and I think if there is one thing that you should worry about, and this is for people that don't already know the truth, the only thing that you should worry about is that you're kept from the biggest lie of all. Yeah. So if you're out there talking about second suns and stuff, that's if if you're going to talk about a second sun, but you're talking about the first sun being 94 million miles away, I'll get out of here with that, man. The sun's not 90 million, so you're kept in a holding area. You've still been kept away from the proper truth. So I feel like for as many conspiracies that are out there that are true, and there's a lot of them. I would vouch for.
Yeah, but don't you find that it's all in layers? They did it like with 9/11.
But that's lies. When
they start talking about this, and then by the time you finish, you're on turn out there's another layer and another layer, and it's all like
it's happen in lies. You have to cover a lie with a lie and another lie and another lie, and then you've got 2 generations of people that are living in a whole heap of lies. And I feel that we make that. I can't name my grandmother 3 generations back. I don't know what her Christian name is. I wish I did off the top of my head, but I don't. I'd be a liar.
Yeah, and we might not be
as
as old as they say we are.
We're in 2018, yeah?
So they say.
2018. So if that is the case, and we pertain 1 BC to be legitimate, then what was the year of 1 BC? What was it? Answers on a postcard, please. And yep, you're going to come with 6,000, and you're going to come with this. And
I did hear Jaren say this one day.
Give me different numbers
The reason there's a 0 is that's when we got reset last time.
That's the damning evidence.
The reset was 2,000 years ago, and that's what it is.
There's some people that say we're in 5,770 something, which means we're only a couple of 100 years from the reset. But then how many resets has there been? And what
Loads, isn't there?
number before the reset? So
Who are the people that brought those great big...
Once upon a time...
Who are the elongated headed people? Yeah, look, they've made this little beach now. Just don't go swimming.
Oh, I was going to get my shoes off and dive in.
Yeah, come on, Roxanne.
Oh, come on.
Give us some lessons.
Let's
Come on.
go. Not today, the sun's not high. Love it. But yeah, it worries me about 1 BC. 1 BC is a problem to me.
So that, it sort of made sense in a way. 'Cause I don't think they're as old as they say we are, but I don't know. And
I don't like the way they talk in negative as well. It's like backwards talk from zero.
this reset, I mean, I'm not saying that those other like elongated skull people and all that aren't real, and I'm just saying this reset maybe.
You looked at the Nephilim giants and all of those things, because I've done the whole Sumeria, the Zachariah stitching.
Yeah, you have to look up a
giants.
bit of giants, don't you?
No forest on earth, trees, giant trees.
Yeah, but in a sense that's right, because listen, about 10 miles away from me is this thing called Coombe Hill. And what it is it links up to the Ridgeway Walk, which goes up to Oxford. And what it was is that the pagans in those days had to walk on the Ridgeway because the trees, they needed to know where they were going. Well, you go up there now, there are trees, but they don't need to go up there to see where they're going. It's like, well, where have the trees gone? If they had to go up there so they could see, like, there must have been some big oaks that aren't there anymore.
No. And then you still got the last few of the giant sequoia trees, which are a dying breed in their own right?
Yeah.
Down to their last few. And once they're gone, that's the last of the giants.
But they're changing our trees,
They're like
aren't they?
monumental. You can carve a thing to drive through those trees. Those trees are like...
They're changing all our trees. We're getting different trees. Have you noticed? We're not really into oaks anymore. Not really. They're not planting oaks, are they?
Or use.
No.
Huh.
I even see the change in Richmond Park over the last 20 years.
Anyway, that's what they do in the park. Look, all the little ducks and things.
For me, we lost a lot of willows.
They're the animals that are here. Oh, the ducks that are here. I don't, so I've got a piece of bamboo in it, and that's the little thing. And then we could go off there on even a longer walk, but we're not today.
Love it.
Haha, get you for a change.
Yeah, too much for change.
Believe that, I've got 2% on my phone, I can't phone anything.
Oh god, I've got a charger in my car as well.
Heavily unprepared, no battery. We were just saying, there's a lot of ducks on this.
Well, I've got footage for you.
Is it pond, lake? Lake. Big enough to be a lake, it's not a pond.
I've got footage for you, so you have.
To realise that they're actually using it.
Anyway, we've been having takeaway. John's still eating. Or Harry, should I say. And then we've all eaten, and then
Stuffed.
there's Ellie.
Under the cupboard.
Yeah, so it's been really great meeting you.
It has. It's gone too quickly. I said it feels like I've been in your company for like half an hour already, and it's like...
It's not gone yet.
Yeah, you're not gone yet, but time's gone really quickly, hasn't it?
Going quickly, yeah.
Yeah, it is. It is. But really pleased I've come here to see you.
Yeah, me
really
too.
pleased. It was well worth it, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I feel much better.
Brilliant.
for
Had
it.
to chase around for us some food.
Yes. But we got there in the end.
Went for a
didn't we?
walk.
Yeah. Yeah, and that lake was beautiful.
You like that?
Yeah. Having that on your doorstep.
Yeah, it's nice. Anyway, so tomorrow and Saturday and Sunday, what are you doing again?
Right, so tomorrow we're going on adventures to go and see Kimmy, and then on Saturday...
This is all with you.
Yes, go and see Kimmy and Bob, of course.
And
Great
then,
couple.
yeah, we're going to spend the day with them hopefully tomorrow. And then on Saturday we're going to go down to Portsmouth early in the morning. We'll get set up for late morning, midday. And then we'll be down at Portsmouth waterfront near Gunwharf, where all the sea cats and hovercrafts go into Isle of Wight. We're going to get set up on the waterfront, and we'll be down there from midday to the close of play, whatever time that is. It won't be quick. I mean, we should be down there till at least 6 o'clock.
Where are you? I've lost you. There you are. So he's eating.
It's at least 6 o'clock, yes. It could be a bit later.
Okay, but so and Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday we are going, full hilt. Lots of people are going to Hyde Park. We're going to be there from midday onwards at Speaker's Corner, Hyde Park, London, where we will be talking amongst all of the other people there about all the different issues that we have. Obviously, Flat Earth's going to be one of those issues, but there's a multitude of issues. Misspending by the government, freedom of speech, What are they spending £1.16 million a day on? Why are we giving £1.16 million a day to the British Space Agency? How have we got food banks and families that can't afford to feed themselves? But Tim Peake, he can live just fine.
Yeah, he's got to live with that conscience, hasn't he? Of lies.
I don't consent. I don't consent to that money being sent.
Well, yeah, I don't either.
And I think
Well, it isn't even spent on it, is it?
Well, this is the thing, and I think as a nation, I think we should wake up to the fact that we're being completely bamboozled by the same government that is supposed to be there, if we're going to believe in that system, to look after us, protect us, nurture us, help us to grow as a civilization, and they're not. They're doing the complete opposite, under the guise of doing that. And that's
Falsely lying to the people and lying again.
Yeah. And then you look at the pharmaceutical companies and the money that's spent on that with the government. And then you look at the children that are being withheld from medication.
People might say, though, on Sunday, well, what's this got to do with Flat Earth? What do you say about that?
It's got everything to do with Flat Earth. It's got everything to do with Flat Earth. You only have to backtrack the right back to the singular of whatever subject you're perpetuating to talk about. And the singular for everything narrates back to the lie. You just have to reverse engineer every lie you're presented with, and the further you go back, the more interconnected they are.
Plus,
the monetary line, all the monetary issues.
So, have you basically worked out as well then that everything's a lie?
Yeah, well, I think before Flat Earth, we discovered that everything we thought we knew was a lie, and I mean everything. Just actually, Bob and Kimmy were going to see tomorrow. Bob was just talking about the gold rush in America that he was researching. That was all a lie as well, to get a lot of Europeans in to prop up the population, start communities. There wasn't all that gold they were saying there was. So. And from the Titanic that didn't sink, to as Roxanne says about the monetary system, it's all made out of thin air and used to keep us in control and in debt. To history, to politics, everything that I've been taught, everything I learned as growing
Education.
up was a lie. Yeah, education.
And we're sort of undereducated because we don't realise the words we're using. And Floss. And what they mean.
The word salad.
Yeah.
Indoctrination, not education. I think.
Yeah.
Well, I was indoctrinated, certainly. I don't think I had a good education.
That's why James is very articulate, because the whole point is he knows every word that he's using. Wow, he's a pretty clever bloke, really, James.
Who's James?
He came on the night after Permission to Exist.
Oh, yes.
And it wasn't meant to be a talk about narcissists. It's just before we went live. I asked him his question. Floss! Look, she's being naughty. I asked him this question about, does anxiety, is it linked with narcissism? And he went, yes. And then I thought maybe he'd just talk about it for a couple of minutes on the actual hangout, and he didn't. He talked about it for about an hour. And actually, all the stuff about anxiety he was talking about links back to narcissism as well. It's the same sort of thing. So it's like they must have bred societies to be narcissists.
Well, it's become more prevalent, I think. Do you think it's more prevalent in modern day?
Yeah. You know what? You only have to stop at the lights and stop too quickly in front of a cyclist, and they'll hurl abuse at you before 9 o'clock in the morning. Even just the other morning, innocently going left, cyclist came up beside me, and because I was in the wrong position, doing the wrong thing, effed and blinded at 8:30 in the morning, and I wound down my window and I went, are you all right? I could feel the negative energy coming off the guy, and he repeated it again. Put the window up, drove on, and I said to myself, I've not even got half a mile away from my house. I'm just taking my kids to school.
It is hard sometimes not to be frustrated with traffic, but a lot of the time I'm trying to just relax enough. So I just think I just see all these other people all angry and frustrated, and you're going through rather than all this sort of people want to kill each other at traffic lights and things.
Yeah, but then are they being programmed, social conditioned to be like that? If they watch too much television.
Yeah, road rage. I'm doing road rage.
Yeah.
But occasionally, if someone's really rude to me, I might do something back. I think, what's your problem? I go.
Well, I remember somebody was watching EastEnders, and it was on, and I was sitting there, and it was just full of aggression. Every scene, people being aggressive, almost violent with each other.
You mean people don't realise what they're watching?
They don't realise, but they're being programmed how to react to these situations, and they overreact, over-emotional, over-aggressive, rather than saying, oh, I put my brakes on there, oh well, everything's okay, rather than going, mad because somebody pulled out in front of me or something. And we all do, don't we? We all make mistakes when we're driving. But there's a lack of tolerance or understanding to somebody else making a mistake.
Yeah, but just lack of tolerance with each other.
Yeah.
Do you know what we're going to have to do in a minute, though? To go see that Big Dipper.
Yeah, we have to go.
I think we have to go see the Big Dipper, so we're
Yeah.
just going to hold on for a minute.
Yeah. Yeah, me
Cheer.
puts the waxing
it.
buds in.
You're strapped to the chair and you're not allowed to speak.
Ooh, Roxanne, motormouth Roxanne in the corner. I was like that by the end of the night. Okay, yep, that's it.
There's always a lot to say, though, isn't
Not
there?
at all, not at all.
There is. And then I go to bed and chew my partner's ear off as well.
What, you wake him up and tell him?
I go, wake up, no, I'm going to bed. No, another thing, and another thing, and let me tell you, and do you know what? And do you know what? No, not really. But I agree with what you're saying. There's always something to talk about. Not someone, something. You know, there's
Yeah.
always...
I do think, though, that it's a bit like... I know we like to... Like, you've had Chris on and doing, like, he can show you how stupid it would be if we were on a globe by just using a gate. Yeah? But Flat Earth isn't just about maps. It's about everything.
Mm-hmm.
There's a variety of people, you know, making you think about things using different methods and different situations, and it really makes you think. And I think that's the beauty of it. People being creative and thinking outside the box. A lot of different avenues.
I was just asking you, I said in the car, like, you're really enjoying... Because you've done a lot of driving this year, haven't you?
Yeah, more than I've
Flat Earth
ever done, I
miles.
think. Yeah, yeah. No, but yes, I've really enjoyed it because I've been to some beautiful places I wouldn't have gone otherwise, and met some amazing people. A few of them in the room here right now.
Oh, what? Roxanne?
Cohen.
Oh.
Yeah, everybody in the room, and there's countless people I've met, and I think I would never have met them if it hadn't been for the subject matter, and getting off my posterior and making an effort to go and meet them. And
Do you think Flat Earth's quite an intellectual thing, and this is why we don't attract some people? Because if you just want, like, I don't know what it is, you know, like Coronation Street and stuff like that, if you just want a certain kind of talk, but ours is all about, it's so deep.
Yeah.
It's quite intellectual, don't you
We
think?
go from one thing to talking about star constellations, then we talk about other ideas that are out there and concepts, and I don't want to go as far as to say the word theory, so that, you know, like you said about people's ideas of things, and having organic conversations with people about things lead to other things and other things, and then before you know it, you've got a better understanding of something, not because you've been taught something, but because you've opened the subject up. Like just now when we went outside and you showed me the Big Dipper, just you showing me that after you said, no, look, statistically speaking, north that from here. Now when I'm going back home and I do my own little calculations from my house, because I know
You have to see what's in your north, east, south,
yeah. And
I mean, I'm lucky. My house faces north, south. It fits perfectly. But you'll have to see where everything is in your sky and in your room.
that's it. And I wouldn't be able to go and do that myself without physically being here with you and you standing there and showing me that goes there and then it does that. Do you know what I mean? It's that real life interaction. It's that real life.
You have to check, but I'm quite lucky. It's not like north is there or south is. It's actually my house faces the whole thing.
And that's it. When you go and see someone in real life and you slow down enough and you talk to people, not about people, about things, you give the subject time to organically blossom. So what could have been the small thought that you barely understood, the more you talk about it with people, have maybe a better understanding, and then you, when you go back and look at it, have a better understanding. So it's now something that you're looking at that you understand. A bit like a computer game. Once upon a time they put it on, they haven't got a clue what to do, haven't got a clue. So they ask their friends, what, this, that and the other. Not for reassurance, but for a bit like we did when we woke up to Flat Earth. I've seen this, I've seen that, I've checked that. Have you?
yeah, exactly.
So I'm not reassuring myself, am I? I'm seeing if
Yeah,
it's just me that's seen
it gets deeper and deeper though, doesn't it? And you think,
That's it.
no, not something else. No.
But that's what it always seems
No,
to lead to.
not something. And then at the end of it, you're like, oh my god! Originally,
So
that's what it was
so
like.
the awakenings just carry on. They carry on tenfold by a factor of whatever. For every year.
Yeah, I
of
thought the worst
after.
bit was finding out that we weren't a ball, that we were flat.
That's like
That's
the
just the
tip of the
beginning
iceberg,
of the
yeah.
next.
Yeah.
Yes, that's it. Perfect.
I think the worst thing for me is finding out that it's such a manipulated lie. It's not an accidental lie, or there's a few things that went wrong and they try. This is disgusting.
Yeah.
This is insane.
But why do you think a lot of people don't think it's disgusting or insane?
Because they don't know.
Yeah, but some people do know, but they don't have that same drive to expose it because they don't think it's that criminal or that.
They
disgusting.
don't. Those are the ones that don't care.
Well, I don't understand their mentality. You know, I just think, why wouldn't you be angry about it? Why wouldn't you want to do something about it?
Yeah.
But once you're awoken to it.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, I agree with that. I'm thinking before you're awoken to it, you'd be naive to that. You wouldn't know that you wouldn't know that. Because I was like that once. I was that person.
Well,
once.
it's not important to Ellie very much at the moment. Got you, Ellie. Got you.
No, but it's all right because it is important to her mum. My darling, you're off the hook.
I got her. She wasn't looking.
We both know.
You can get her on.
We both know people who've woken up, but yet they're still undecided. You know, they've looked at a lot of things and they're still undecided.
My neighbour's a bit like that, but it was nice. She said to me the other day or a couple of weeks ago, she said that you've made me think though about things, and that's it though, isn't it?
Yeah.
Okay, one person, yay!
Yeah. But that one person though, when she's having coffee and tea, may go, oh, you know what I've heard, and that's spreading of the words, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, I think that's the word of mouth is probably the best way to get it out
Absolutely.
there, because it will just, not like Chinese whispers, but you know, just like when you told me about the lake and you said, oh, the tide goes in and it goes out, and now I know that from your word of mouth.
Only flooding, you know, when it floods, the type
I say that as an example, you know, like just like simple exchange of information. Just where we live, by the Thames, we live near a couple of lock systems. So once a day, if you park too close to the Thames will come up and your car will just lift up and float away, and you'll come back and your car will be gone. And so it's down to the locals to let people know, because there are no signposted. It's just a railing and the Thames, right? By the pub. And many a car, many a Porsche we've seen float down the river because...
Well, there's no signs up to say that it floods.
No. There is...
What, is a road there?
No, there is in the main part of town. But as you peter out of town, the signs become less, and then what people do is they park further and further off the beaten track, but then what they don't do is they don't come through the town centre to do that. They come through another way of doing that, getting down to the river. That bit's not in the town.
Surely you could sue against them if there was no sign up and you've left the car and then it's flooded.
Whoa.
Well,
can you imagine that? It's parking your car there and going, I know I parked it here, but it's floated off.
well, no, I don't think. I think if you look at Richmond and Kingston town centre, I don't think you'll find any court cases where someone's won that court case, because I think that would be local town gossip.
Whoa. Not very good though, is it?
No, and this is what I'm saying. On one hand, the system looks like they're there to help you, but on the other hand, they're not. And I don't mean, and this is what I mean. Look, we get into the point where we hear the words that are coming out of our mouth, and things that one is trying to convey isn't conveyed properly because of word salad. So as I'm saying, the system, one will assume what system is that she's talking about. And that's
I think it's sad when everybody believes in the system and thinks it's helping them.
And a lot of things that we say do get misconveyed because we have an issue sometimes in expressing ourselves properly when we're talking about things in and out of context.
Yeah, but it's also, like you just said there at the beginning, the system, what system? You might think the system is different to what I think it is. So there may be a misunderstanding straight away. And like we were talking the other night about other people trying to tell you what the ego is. And the ego means a lot of different things to different people. And a lot of people think they know about it and they don't, and some people know nothing about it. And then that conversation comes up and there's lots of misunderstandings. No wonder. Because there's so many different
meanings.
meanings.
On the head with that one. I'm glad that's why I stopped myself talking, because I went, look, here's a nip it in the bud situation. I've just said the one word system, but that word can then have a whole length of a rebuttal. Well, what system is that you're implying? And this implying and that. And so, just to clarify the system I was implying, if we look at
sound like a solicitor.
The highways and byways system is actually who I was specifically referring to there. The highways and byways that each council have in each borough, in each district.
Very, very different.
Yeah, but on one hand, they're again another hypocritical section of something that was wrong. And so it's like an over PCing of things, But then when it goes wrong, they still don't take responsibility, and then you're passed from department to look at the potholes, look at the rigmarole people go through.
I think I had to
when their
have
wheel
my
breaks
car
on a
that's just
pothole,
gone,
6 months in
right?
court, and then
I've had to have
normally they lose.
two of the spring coils on both the right hand side of the car went. I needed 2 of those poles in my shock absorbers.
And who's made to foot the bill?
Me.
There you go.
But you pay your road tax.
Of course, like
Yeah, but they're not going to admit that because it's so bad because they're not mending the potholes.
No.
But then why are we paying road tax then?
There you go.
Imagine how many cars there are.
Thank you.
There's millions.
And you see this is exactly the kind of conversation that one can have with people on a normal basis.
You know that the newer cars, they are making them zero on because they're economy or stuff like that, but there's still billions of cars on the road.
But there always will be because the oil barons want you to pay for oil.
And that makes me so angry because we could have been electric and not even have had all this. And all it is a money-making thing, isn't it?
I used to have a list of all the scientists who've been killed, scientists into renewable energy systems, you know, shot in the head and killed in other mysterious ways. You know, it seemed to be a dangerous job to get into, looking into renewable energies. So, of course, they don't want renewable energies in full flow because that would kill the profits of the oil industry. Because they won't. We don't need petrol for cars to run on, but it'll still be there because there's so much money to be made out. They can run cars on water.
Yeah, and Peter and Pete was saying that when you burn water or boil it, you can actually it can burn a higher degree than fuel. So why they didn't use fuel and water in the first place rather than petrol?
No, it couldn't get monetised as heavily as if you.
Well, can't
Yeah. Natural products are more difficult to monetise.
It's all to do with money. My fingers, money.
Money talks and BS walks as far as they're concerned.
And restrict the flow of oil and the prices go up. I lived in Aberdeen and this was maybe 1974. There was a big crisis of shortage of oil and the media were saying only 10-15 years left of the oil, and then the prices at the gas stations went shooting up. And then they say this every 5 years, oh, the oil's running out, blah, blah, blah. Now that was, 35, 40 years ago. And they're still saying that, oh, it's only about 10, 15
See what
years.
Peter and Pete reckon? All the stuff at the poo factory, that's what they turn into gas.
Yeah, I've heard that,
That's our gas. They're selling us back. So all they're doing is making money.
Too preposterous, does it? When you hear it, it's not like clanging
Makes
my
sense,
ears.
This is why they don't have to worry about it ever running out in the North Sea because they're making it from our poo.
I can believe that.
That's why they invest so much in it, don't they?
Why not tell us though? Proportion of your gas.
Proportion of your gas.
It's from your bubble water.
We make money out of you. We profit from your waste products.
No, like we said earlier, it's just a lie on a lie on a lie on a lie on a lie, and I feel like we're a couple of generations into that lie now. So you can just imagine the pile of lies that's had to pile up.
Yeah.
You'd be there.
Well, something happened after the second, well, even the First World War, because the women went out and did all the men's jobs, and they thought when the men came back from the wars that everything would go back to the way it was, and it didn't. And so the Second World War was where divorces started happening, then with the 60s sort of flower power children, and it goes on like that. So the Second World, well, it's probably the First World War really, because that's when women started changing roles. We weren't in the roles anymore, like. You know, apart from actually getting the sperm, I don't need you at all, and you don't need me. Not when the baby's born. The baby needs to be born from me. But you can have. Yeah. You can.
That's a big lie that I was quite surprised at. I thought, well, God, why was it taken in? The suffragettes, you know, when they're trying to win the vote for women to the right to work and to vote, but then who funded those suffragettes? It was David Rockefeller who founded them because they were only getting 50% tax off the male workers. So they've seen these women wanting to come into the employment market and pay taxes. So they thought, 100% pay taxes now rather than 50%. So they funded the women's movement. The Rockefeller family and the bankers. So, like, everything's a lie in history.
Anyway, I think it's. I don't understand why they just didn't go for equality, the suffragettes. That's what it was about, emotional equality, not about, we're not the same as men. Okay, we should maybe have more similar wages, but it was about emotional equality. That's what it should have been about.
For me, when I look at people, you know, individuals like the suffragettes who stood up for a cause and did what they did, even if we were to pertain that they were funded and this, that and the other, I still feel that a small group of individuals that are human beings that have a voice and they know how to construct their words can make a difference without being funded by elites independently.
Well, we're doing all this out of our own money, aren't we?
Yeah,
absolutely, yes.
We're here today off our own back. You know, no one's funded, no one's sponsoring the movement, and no one needs to, because the truth's going to be the truth, regardless of who speaks for it. You know?
Yeah, you know, there's a lot of people who find it difficult to do anything, but if they were funded, they could do a lot more. But
I'm not doing you, Ellie.
for us to be funded, I think your integrity might be put into question.
I completely agree. I think as soon as monetising it comes into the scenario, I think you kind of lose all credibility in the path that you're going. Now, I'm not casting aspersions on people that do. That's, you know, each their own. And I will practice what I preach. Just because I might not agree with some things that people do, it doesn't mean we still don't have a basis to have a conversation about things that we do agree on. So it doesn't mean you have to write off someone just because they...
Yeah, but we're in a stage where we should be able to talk, because we can't get to every answer right now. It's all about talking. The people need to talk.
Correct. And I feel like if you monetise a situation straight away, you restrict some of the people's freedom to talk because they feel obliged. You know, like when you walk into a small shop, you don't know if you're going to buy anything, and they're just eyeballing you. As soon as you're in there, and you kind of go,
that turns me right off, that does.
I have to buy something now, and then, or you end up just leaving.
It's okay, fine, I don't want anything, bye.
Right. And I feel the same thing when it's very early monetising going on, because you think, well, hold on, can we have a conversation first? You know, say hello first.
I think there should be less condemnation, though, isn't it? People are very quick to judge if they do something that they think is not right.
And no, I completely agree. And that's what I'm saying. Even if we don't agree with what people are doing, we shouldn't be condemning. We should still be communicating with people and being humility. We don't have to agree on everything.
Yeah, we might all start out not agreeing on things and can end up either agreeing to disagree or agreeing.
Yes, but then it's healthy. That's a healthy environment to be able to disagree respectfully.
Yeah, and that's the example of monetising. Even though I might not agree with people monetising certain things, it still doesn't mean I'm not going to have a civilised discussion with them about things that we do agree on. I think it's wrong to just write people off because there's a percentage of them that you don't agree with.
Yeah, that person might not have employment and got dependents.
Exactly.
And they can see for all the hard work they're going to get a little income in from it. So I'm not going to criticise somebody for that.
That's it.
I personally
and it's not nice to be policed into doing so by other people. I think we're all adults here, and I don't think any adult should be policing other adults on how they should. You know, it almost feels like someone force feeding me. You know, life.
Well, it is. People set themselves up as a police.
As a child, you know, don't touch that. It's hot.
It's worse than that, isn't it? It's like we're living in the middle of a film.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
What's that, sorry?
It's like we're living in the middle of a film.
Oh, we certainly are. Yeah. Well,
it's like we're on a film set.
Yeah, but I think the more touch with reality you've got, the less it seems like a film set. And I think until you wake up, you are in a film set. What
I mean is, we're watching what we think is the news, when really it's all just a staged game.
Yeah.
And so
illusion.
Yeah.
It's like a magic show, isn't it? It's illusionary.
So everything's an illusion in the illusion of the illusion.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
Because nothing's real in it, is it?
No. Which is what that space thing's about for me. That's so annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah, that got me going the other day.
Because that is about us being a globe as well, not just about going to the moon. All the shape. It's all to do with the shape we are.
Yeah. That's why I said I think they're a wee bit concerned at the truth movement, which is why they're doing what they're doing just now. They're churning out more indoctrination crap.
Yeah. I still think
space. What is it? Space Force. Yeah. That's like that movie. What is it? Oh, I can't remember now. But there was a movie that was like that. It was like the military in space.
I didn't see that one, but I think we should go into the BBC and
So you need to go to prison.
well, it's about misrepresentation. They have a responsibility to represent reality, don't they? The BBC.
Yeah.
Do you know something? You could even do it about 9/11. That guy, there was a guy, right? He refused to pay his television licence.
Yeah, I know.
Do you know who I mean?
Yeah.
And what it was is the judge agreed with him that something was very wrong with 9/11, and it meant that if everybody should go to the police station.
No, he agreed that BBC were aiding terrorism because they knew about the building falling down
before it came down.
Yeah. So the judge sympathised with them and got off. But I thought you could go into the BBC and say, right, for standards of true representation, you've been showing me that spinning ball every day of my life for every programme on TV, and I want to make an official complaint. You know, can you verify that? You know, it's just that's my programming. You've been indoctrinating me with all my life since I was a child. And I'm angry about it now, and it's still spinning around on the TV.
I know it. It is anyway. It is with every film you watch. Speak the cameras, the star trails on the cameras. Round and round and
Universal
round.
Film Studio.
Everything's round and round.
Every news segment, every weather segment. Now the weather projection, they've got the little camera in the corner, just in case you forgot.
Yeah.
The indoctrination's still there.
And the films, Hollywood, Universal, and everything else, big globes everywhere.
Yeah.
In fact, that globe was there before they even went to the moon.
Yeah.
There you go.
I put in my last video there's Chris showed me in where was it? Starts at R.
Rochester. No.
Is it Rochester?
Sorry, I've just made that one up. You said R. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it sounds like I keep getting mixed up. Anyway, it took me to an old pub called the Globe.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes.
Yeah. That was a joke, wasn't it?
And you come out of that, and across the road is Globe taxis, and then, you know, and that's all subliminal social conditioning. Where
Is that you with the pub and the globe in it?
The what?
I was like watching a video the other day. They were going somewhere and there was a pub in it.
there
Was it you?
was a
You.
subliminal.
It's like in the background.
And there was these globes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was just having a discussion. Chris specifically wanted a globe because of the lines on it, measuring the distances on them. I don't know what you call the lines that go around the globe, but you want to show you different speeds of the spin. But for me, I'd rather use a football or something because it's you could be accused of it's trying to get a globe in. A ball will serve it just as well because it's the same shape.
So you're picking him up or something? Is Chris coming tomorrow?
Yeah, Colin's picking them up.
There you go. I don't know the details.
And he's coming tomorrow, yeah?
Yes, lots.
There's 6.
Lots.
How many people are staying at your house then, Roxanne?
About 25 people. 25, 30 people.
Are they?
In the bathroom.
In the bathroom, on the ceiling.
Yeah,
and
in the
in
bath.
the shed. In the bar.
Some on the toilet.
No, Colin's taking about 6 people down with him from Lancaster. And picking up Chris on the way. So.
And then we're going to have like a Glastonbury type of thing at my house for 3 days.
Are you?
Fun. Should be fun.
Hey, Roxanne. Festival at your house.
You
We'll
better give out the address quickly.
Yeah, we'll have the lovely Vicky giving her acoustic version of... I don't know if it's a bit of a swear word. It uses profanity, Harry.
It meshes flat.
You... Curse. It measures... No, I don't know. Copyright. No, I can't do copyright.
Oh, I think you can sing it. Is it alright? It's when you play it.
Yes,
I
sing
can't
it.
do it like this. No,
No, come on.
I'll say it.
Yeah, say it then.
It measures flat tube.
Sorry?
How'd you say?
Oh.
What was that?
She doesn't want to do it loud enough.
I'm going to...
I'll tell you what, listen, you can tell me in 2 seconds,
Don't let me
because
hear
I've been
you.
recording loads of the stuff, just for this, because obviously I'll put this out on YouTube later on.
Oh, no.
Should we just say, I'll say goodbye on here to them, and then we'll just carry on talking. So, it's been really great meeting Roxanne, her daughter, and of course, Harry,
It's been great meeting
and his
you,
dog,
Karen.
and of course, the lovely Roxanne. It's been great.
It's been great.
It's been great.
Thank you very much
Yeah,
for
it has.
your hospitality.
Oh no, thank you. It's
It
been
was well
brilliant.
worth it. It was well worth it. I'm so
Yeah.
glad I came here to meet you, darling.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, goodbye from us.